Hello everyone, welcome to TTV News with some latest events in TayNinhTV province, and now coming to details. The TayNinhTV Provincial Police had just held a conference to review the works of criminal judgment, executions, custody, and temporary detention, judicial support, and management of material evidence work held in the first 6 months of the year, implementing the key tasks in the last 6 months of 2023.
Colonel Trần Văn Luân, Deputy Director of Provincial Public Security, attended and directed the conference. In the first 6 months of 2023, the work of criminal judgment execution, custody, and temporary detention, providing judicial support and management of evidence warehouses, provincial police have advised and promulgated many documents directing, implementing, and strengthening inspection of the observance of law provisions in custody, temporary detention, and execution also of the criminal judgment execution, especially the surprise inspection, comprehensive inspection of all aspects of the work of detention camps and detention houses of district town and also the police of the tenant city. Security and safety for detention facilities are also ensured. The reception, classification, and arrangement of detention are also carried out strictly according to regulation, strictly and also strictly managed. Policies of the persons held in custody, temporary detention, and prisoners are also guaranteed. Criminal judgment execution in the community and community reintegration work is strictly carried out in accordance with the provision of laws, absolutely protect the process of escorting and court hearing. And the export, timbers, and preservation of material evidences must ensure the safety, comply with the provisions of law, and also serve the requirements of investigation, prosecution, and adjudication. The People's Committee of TayNinhTV Province has just issued decision number 1647 on promulgating the time frame for the new school year of 2023 and 2024 for preschool, general education, continuing education in the province. According to the decision, students at all levels in the province will return to school on August 28th of 2023. Particularly for grade 1, school will return to school on August 21st of 2023, and this September the 5th of 2023 is the opening day of the new school year for all grades. Public holidays and New Year's holidays are implemented in accordance with the provision of the labor law and the guiding documents annually. The teacher's annual leave is taken during the summer break or can be alternated at other times of the year to accommodate specific characteristics and the local school year time plans. The time to consider recognition of completing the primary program and consider the recognition of secondary school graduation before June 30th of 2024, completing enrollment for the first classes of the 2024 and 2025 school year by July 31st of 2024. The provincial competition for excellent students at the high school level will be held on September the 21st and the 22nd of 2023. And for junior high school, the date is April the 23rd and the 24th of 2024. Admission of grade 10 of Halika High School for the gifted will be held on June the 3rd and June the 4th of 2024. Particularly, the national competition for excellent students at the high school graduation exams in 2024 will follow the guidance of the Ministry of Education and Training.
Ladies and gentlemen, recently, delegates of the provincials and districts people council met with voters in Long Thành Trung Ward, Hoa Thành Thao.
Voters of Long Thành Trung Ward said that the voters were very interested in the resolution of the Provincial People's Council issued in the past time. Specifically, the resolution number 47 issued by the 10 Provincial People's Council at its 6 sections have policies to support civil servants, public employees, and health workers. To date, the medical facilities have been deployed on this resolution. However, according to the voters, health workers working in the schools are wondering because they do not know if they are beneficiaries of the policy under the resolution number 47. Delegates have noted voters' opinion and said they will contact the relevant departments to get the earliest answers for the voters. The supervisory delegation of the Standing Committee of Provincial Youth Union has just come to supervise the implementation of the Youth Law and the Youth Development Program of TayNinhTV Province for the period of 2021 to 2030 in TayNinhTV City. Working with the People's Committee of Thanh Tân Commune and the People's Committee of Ward 2, the supervisory delegation listened to reports, exchanged and discussed a number of issues such as the work organizing, mastering and propagating the youth law in 2023, the implementation of the youth development strategy of the Ninh province in the period of 2021 to 2030, implementing the policies for the youth, solutions to support the young people starting a business. And through the report, the units basically directed the implementation of the propaganda and dissemination of the law on the youth and have the mechanisms and create conditions for the young people to participate in the implementation of local socio-economic development program objectives.
To celebrate the 78th anniversary of the traditional days of the information and communication industry, the Departments of Information and Communications organized the 15th Southern Region's Traditional Sport Festival in 2023.
The sport festival took place in 2 days from the 11th to the 12th of August in 2023. The competition include the mini football, table tennis, badminton, tennis, women air volleyball, mountaineering, marathon, or and jumping the jutback. In particular, the table tennis starts from August 11 at Demon Table Tennis Club, the Quarter 1, World 4 of the Ninh City. The table tennis brings together 55 players, including 44 male players and 11 female players working in the information and communication sector from provinces in the southern region of Vietnam. The players competed in 4 events, including the men's singles, women's singles, men's doubles, and mixed doubles. And coming to the 15th Southern Region Traditional Sport Festival in 2023, all the units have prepared quite carefully from the selection of the players, the football players, as well as to practicing to join in the tournaments. And also at Hadang Tennis Court in the city started a tennis competition. The competition in tennis has more than 50 tennis players who are officials, civil servants, public employees, workers from associations and units of information and communication sector of provinces and cities in the south of Vietnam. The tennis players are divided into several groups with a 2 competitions, including the men doubles leader and men doubles movement. The form of competition applies the law of tennis competition issued by the Vietnam Tennis Federation. And despite the hot weather, the tennis players still try their best to compete in the spirit of solidarity, exchange, and learn from each other also. Meanwhile, the women's volleyball competition was also held at the Tay Ninh Provincial Gymnasium. Participating in women's volleyball, there are 13 teams. Each team has 5 players in the field, and the teams are thrown into 4 groups of round robins. The select group winners to compete in the semi-finals and the finals. Explaining chairman of the tournament in 2022 with the determination to maintain the previous year's achievements and look forward to exchanging and learning experiences with the teams of the other provinces and cities. And also at the Tay Ninh Provincial Gymnasium, a table badminton game between the teams took place also. And this year, badminton tournament brings together for about 15 badminton players from the southern region for information and communication sector teams, in which this year the players will compete in the contents of men doubles, including 15 pairs, men's women doubles with 11 pairs, and double between the leaders of units in the province for 5 pairs. The teams will be competing in the form of a knockout to compete for the first, the second, and the third prizes in the competition contents. Meanwhile, at men's football field, a 5-a-side men's football qualifier took place between associates of the Southern Information and Communication Industry. The 4 teams will compete in the knockout and qualifying format to select 4 teams to compete in the semi-finals and the final on the morning of August the 12th. And although the weather was very hot, but when the whistle blew, the team created a very exciting atmosphere with the good matches and the beautiful balls and the fierce and dramatic competition between the football players, and every score, goal, and misplay is full of the regrets and emotion. And ladies and gentlemen, some households living at the end of the alley 3 Holycat Street are quite worried about the situation that the power pole is tied to and the wires are stuck on the voltage poles close to the roof of the people's houses and may causing danger. The power pole reclined 4 to 5 years ago. I have partitioned the world but have not moved at all. If there is water on the power line, there is electricity when it rains. So I suggest to uproot this pole or replace it or make it not fall into the people's houses. During the meeting with the voters after the last August meeting, the voters of Ward 3 also reflected discontent to the people's deputies at both city and provincial levels of the council, hoping that the competent authorities would completely deal with and prevent such incidents for major risks may occur. And for the recent meeting with the voters in the neighborhood, the people are prosperous again. Besides, today I also recommend to the branches and delegates towards the related agencies to consider adjusting or repairing these power poles. Right after the meeting with voters, the city advisory also conducted a survey under the direction of the city's People Committee. And after that, the city's electricity responded as follows. This is a telecommunication tower, so it is recommended that the telecommunication unit soon fix it. The light close to the roof of a house is recognized by the electricity industry as a telecommunication wire, while the power line is a switch wire above. However, in order to increase the safe distance, the city electricity has prepared an additional treatment plan to be completed in August of 2023 and will report to the voters of the Ward 3. In addition, the people of the city also hope that the functional sectors will soon have a large-scale survey, shorten the times of wires attached to the poles, strengthen the old or tight poles, ensuring the safety for the people, especially in the rainy season in the area.
With 240 kilometers of border with the Kingdom of Cambodia, TayNinhTV has always focused on propaganda about the border through cultural and artistic activities,
and thereby contributing to creating conditions for the people to improve their spiritual life, while adding love to each border and milestone, adding value to border guards, and contributing to stabilizing the border on the land. The cultural program performed by the mobile propaganda team of the Cultural Center of the TayNinhTV province on holidays and important events always include the songs about the border, the image of the border guard soldiers wearing a green military rank, not afraid of divinities, and clinging to the border and developing the economy with the people in border areas. The provincial and district mobile propaganda teams, according to the plan, annually build cultural programs and propaganda strips to serve the guard soldiers and employees, the population in the border communes in the province on the average of 20 days per year. In addition, every year the Provincial Culture Center advised and coordinated with the Literature and Art Association and the Provincial Youth Union to organize contests for the songwriting, reformation, skits, and short plays to propagate the border and the sea islands, and thereby enriching the propaganda contents. Not only that, at present, the mass cultural and artistic movements in the border communes are increasingly being enhanced. Each commune has established a mass art team, cultural and art clubs, thereby ensuring effective propaganda of the particular state's policies and laws, while also meeting the creative needs and enjoy the culture and arts of the people, contributing to stabilizing and improving the quality of life for the people in the border areas in the province. We think that there is a border residence, so we often go to listen to such programs. In general, we also understand so that we can join hands with the commune local authorities to protect better, to defend for our borders. The form of propaganda through cultural and artistic exchanges have deeper meaning, impact, and also influence greater than that of other propaganda. And faced with the need to enjoy spiritual culture of the people in general and the people in border areas still face many difficulties. In particular, the cultural artistic activities related to the border are more and more focused on implementation by the cultural sector. In order to promote the cultural and artistic activities related to the land border issues in the coming time, priority should be given to investment in facilities and development of the movement of the culture and art in the border communes, strengthen the work of bringing culture to the grassroots, and building cultural programs and propaganda strips to serve the people in border areas in the province. As locality with a large number of ethnic minorities living mainly in border districts, the province also cares about the cultural and spiritual life of the people. At this point, the Provincial Cultural Center will conduct surveys and assess the current situation of folk culture and art teams in localities to take the measures to support, coordinate with the localities to establish ethnic culture and artistic teams, and at the same time support activities for 12 traditional art teams in ethnic minority areas in order to preserve and promote the good traditional cultural values of ethnic groups, creating the solidarity, joining hands to protect the border of the fatherland.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's all for TTV News today. Thank you for joining with us and see you next time.